What is going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be talking about market structure. This is going to be essential when it comes to becoming a profitable trader. So then that way you can figure out what a trend looks like, what structure looks like. I'm going to help you with that. Welcome to Power FX. Let's get it. What is going on, everybody? Again, welcome to Power FX. Today we're going to be talking about market structure. If this video was helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is going to be a beginner video, just the basics of market structure, nothing too intricate. If you're in advanced or intermediate, this video is probably not going to be for you, but you can still like, comment, and subscribe. And you can also take a look at my journey as a trader as well. But let's go ahead and get straight to it. We do have pictures of an uptrend and a downtrend. So one of the main things that you want to remember in terms of what makes a trend and what makes market structure is that we have a series of higher highs and higher lows in terms of an uptrend, and then lower highs and lower lows in terms of a downtrend. Okay, so I do have them marked up here. So if you look at this here, we have a higher high, and then we have a higher low. Okay, then we have also a higher high here, and then we have a higher low here. Okay, so what makes a higher high, and a higher low, a higher low? So this is considered a higher high because this is higher. So this point here is higher than this point here. Okay, all right. So that means that at some point, price entered this zone, decided to reject, and then came back through, and then came back down and rejected again, and then continued up into the upside here. All right, so this would be considered a bullish trend. Okay, all right. Now again, this is a higher high because this high point is higher than this high point here. Okay, now what is a higher low? A higher low is this point here. It is higher than this point here, right? So this is a low point of the trend, right? So low point of the trend, all right? And it is higher than this low point of the trend, okay? All right, so again, this higher high or higher low is higher than this higher low here, okay? All right, now for the downtrend, we have a series of lower highs and lower lows, right? So this is considered a lower low, and this is considered a lower high, all right? Okay, again, this is a lower low, and this is a lower high. Okay. So what makes this a lower low? This is a lower low because this low point would be lower than the previous low point, right? This low point here would be lower than this previous low point here, okay? And this is a lower high because this high mark is lower than this previous high mark, okay? This high point here is lower than this high point here, okay? All right, so if you see that, each point is lower than the previous point, okay? Now, one thing you want to remember is that it does not become a higher high or a lower low until it passes that previous low or high point. So this does not become a higher high until it passes this high point, and then it comes back and rejects and continues in the upside. Okay, so again, this high point does not become a higher high until it passes the previous higher high and rejects off the zone and continues up. Same thing here. It does not become a lower low until it passes the previous lower low and continues to the downside. Okay, this does not become a lower low until it passes this previous lower low, rejects the zone, and continues to the downside. Okay, all right. Now, if for some reason it does decide to continue to go up, right, then you could possibly start looking for a change in the trend. So it could start to become an uptrend or a downtrend. Okay. But typically that will happen if you see that it is disrespecting the previous zones here. But it will have to be, up here. It would have to blast through there and then reject off of that zone and then continue back up to the downside. Okay. All right. So now that we have a basic idea of structure and lower highs and lower lows and what makes a trend, right? Let's go ahead and look at what it looks like on the chart. So here we have GJ. So that's going to be Great Britain pound / Japanese yen, right? And here I have marked up a bullish trend, right? So this is a bullish trend. All right. So now let's take a look here. Now remember, higher highs, higher lows for the bullish trend, right? So this is the start of the zone. So remember that we don't count that. So remember, price goes up through your support and resistance zone here, right? And creates a lower low, right? Then goes up, creates a higher high, then a higher low, another higher high, and a higher low, creates another higher high, higher low, and so on, so forth, right? So again, we have a start of your trend, creates a higher high, then a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, so on and so forth, right? You can also switch to a line chart, which actually makes it a little bit easier. So you can take a look at this here, start of your trend, creates that higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and so on and so forth. Again, as a reminder, once it goes through, it doesn't count as a higher high until it passes that previous high mark, okay, or that high point, right? So until it passes that, it is not considered a higher high. All right. Okay. And if you decide, let's say if you decide that you wanted to trade that, right? You get good enough where you decide you want to trade that, you would typically pretty much decide whether you're going to enter based off of the reaction that you have off of the zone. So once it comes through this zone, you'll wait for a retest, and then you'll see what type of reaction it has off of the zone. If you get a good entry signal, so a good entry candle, then you can take that to the upside. You can take a buy going up, right? Then you can set your stops up here. So you can essentially, if you want to, you could set it up, set your stop loss below that last candle, and then you can go up forward, right? Okay. So you can do that, and you can hold it all the way up here to the next level, right? If you want. So, yep, so you can do that. Now let's take a look at a bearish trend. All right, so here we have a bearish trend. So for bearish, remember, we're gonna look for lower highs and lower lows, right? All right, so this is the start of the trend. So this down here would be a lower low. Then you'll have a lower high, right? You'll have a lower low here, and then it creates a lower high. Goes through your zone, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? Goes through your zone, creates another lower low, and then lower high, and then so on and so forth. So let's switch to the line chart. All right. So your line chart, you can see it a little bit easier. Start of your trend here, creates that lower low, creates that lower high, goes past that previous lower low, and also your zone, creates a lower high or lower low here, and then a lower high, lower low, lower high, so on and so forth, right? Okay, I really like the line charts because it actually makes it very, very easy to kind of take a look at patterns a little bit easier if you're not quite used to looking at candlesticks. So one other thing that you can also remember in terms of looking at the markets is consolidation. So consolidation essentially would mean that price isn't moving up or down. It's pretty much just going in a straight pattern, right? It's not going up or down. It's just essentially doing this, right? It's not creating any types of higher highs or higher lows, no lower highs or lower lows. Just essentially just making a straight pattern here, right? So let's see if we can maybe find an example of that. Let's see. All right. So essentially, this is a good, not too bad of an example where it's consolidating, right? So you'll see that it's pretty much kind of consolidating here within this zone, right? It's not really making any big moves. Okay. All right. So that would essentially be consolidation, right? So it's not going up or down yet. It's just staying within this little area here, right? Until it decides to break out and creates more movement, right? Now, I typically don't trade consolidation. But you can. It's a little bit more riskier. But if you decide to, just make sure that you lower your risk if you decide to do consolidation, and also back test it. So back test it, figure out if it works for you. Figure out your win percentage, your loss percentage in terms of trading consolidation. For me, my win percentage was pretty low when it comes to consolidation, so that's why I don't do it. Okay. But hey, that'll be about it for this video. If you have any questions, definitely shoot me a message. But if you haven't checked out the last video in terms of support and resistance zones, definitely do that. But yeah, we'll make sure that we come out with some more videos and see if we can help out some more folks in getting the basics of trading. But hope you folks have a good day. Remember, love, live, life, trade, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.